Hey guys.
I'm Bob.
I'm Barb. Together we make up
HetteshWorld.
It's Can-Am Day, but it's not a normal Can-Am Day. And why is that, Bob?
Today I want to give you some impressions on our bike since we hit 10,000 miles.
So stay tuned. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives, but in 2020 we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia, and from now on we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world?
I wanted to talk about the heated grips on this bike. The newer bikes, I know they got heated seats and grips. The grips do an incredible job to keep your hands warm. In fact, the front grips are so hot I can't even put them on high. Barb will run the back grips on high because they don't seem to get as hot because they're more in the wind. And I'm more protected, the bike putting off the motor heat with the heated grips and the windscreen. It's pretty comfortable up front. Even when it's in 30 degrees, I'm pretty comfortable. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the acceleration or the power of the bike. The bike has very adequate acceleration for 2-up. I never seem like I need to have more power with this bike with 2-up. It's not a race bike by no means, but it definitely has the power to pull two of us along. There's quite a few Can-Amers out there that have a trailer they pull along with them, with, an additional 400 pounds. So the bike has got plenty of power, and we've never felt like it needed more. One of the things I wanted to bring up also is about the transmission. It is clunky, and I've heard other bikes, they have that same clunk, and it kind of bothers me, the clunkiness. We've never had a problem with it. It seems like the warmer it gets, the clunkier it gets. The motor and the transmission use the same oil, so as it all heats up, you get a little more of a clunkiness feeling to it, especially when you're downshifting, but it doesn't seem to affect it. I did wish that the first gear was a little bit shorter and we had a taller 6th gear, because it seems like on the interstate at 2,800 RPMs, which is close to 60 or so, you get great fuel mileage. But boy, when you get up to 70 mile an hour and it's busting 3,500 RPM, and it's got plenty of power to get another gear, it seems like it really sucks the fuel down. So I don't know if that's something Can-Am looks into, and maybe they don't want you to go too fast on the bike, but it would definitely help the fuel economy on the bike, because when you're under 3,000, the fuel economy is incredible. But you get above 3,000, especially with 2-up, it'll drink the fuel down. Another thing about the transmission, if you're making a hard stop or if you're having to make a quick stop, the transmission finds the gear it needs to be in every time, which I really appreciate. It's a lot of times when I'm decelerating at a light or coming up to a light, I'll downshift it because I think it's a little short to downshift. But if you have to do a sudden stop, it definitely finds the correct gear right away, so you can be back on the throttle right away. I mean, that's pretty much all my positive things that I feel about the bike. It's been just an incredible adventure vehicle for us. Run around, I mean, we've probably been in 13 states or so, and it's just been incredible to get on that bike, take it for rides. And we've been in all kinds of climate weather. We've been in rain, we've been in never been in snow yet. We've had some sleet on us, we've been in some beautiful sunshine, and we've been in some cool weather. The bike handles all the weather's fine.
And it goes very fast past bison.
Yep. Yeah. Here in Yellowstone, it's seen a lot of bison. So I got some other things I want to talk about too. Not so much a negative side, but we had our very first fault code on the bike since we've been in Yellowstone. It popped up with an asterisk in the dash. Of course, we didn't know what that was. We researched it, and by the time we got back to the campground, I researched it and it reset itself, and I went into fault codes and the fault code was gone. So the bike is going to a dealership, so we'll have it get checked. They can dig it out with the software they use for buds to connect to the bike.
Do you want to let them know how, when a fault code pops up, what we have learned?
Yeah, when a fault code pops up, you can go into your digital dash and you can scroll down to settings and you can go into fault codes and you can find that fault code. On this bike, with the newer dashboard, the old dashboards, they have to do a different sequence. I think it's turn signal and mode button to get to that sequence, but it'll display it on the dash. But ours is very simple. It's got a fault code screen. Ours reset itself, and we've ridden the bike several times since then. It's never showed itself again. The other thing I wanted to talk about, more of a negative side, it seems like trying to find dealers And for us, we're on the road, so we're constantly moving. So trying to find a dealer that can take the bike in and service it. So when we were down in Tallahassee, we actually were with Coach Bob and Coach Vic, and they use Orion's motors, and we had our first service with them, and they were just an incredible service department. We set the schedule up, and they came in and did it for us on a timely manner. We had no issues. I did the very first service on the bike because we literally could not find anybody between Texas and Indiana that was either willing to do it on our time frame, because we're always moving, or able to do it, period.
Well, we're planners. We do try to plan that stuff ahead of time, so that just tells you how difficult it was.
We are getting the bike service here outside of Boise, Idaho at Birds of Prey Motorsports, and they've been, just conversing with them on the phone, they've been incredible to us. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the dash, which I'm not going to touch on that because that's a BRP, their app. If you got one of these bikes, you know it stinks, it doesn't work real well. So they need to get to Google or to Android Auto of some type. I guess eventually they'll address that on one of their newer bikes. We don't use it, we use the phone mount, and it works out perfectly for us. The other thing I wanted to talk about was tire wear. We're approaching 11,000 miles on a bike right now, and our back tire is down to the last wear indicator. And like I said earlier, we ride 2 up. It seems like 11,000 miles to me seems a little bit quick. I mean, I track on the interwebs, and you find where people say, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15,000 is about the best you're going to get on the rear tire. And we're sticking with the factory tire. And our dealer that we're going to be seeing in Idaho, we did already purchase the tire through their parts department, and they were very fair with the rear tire, and they're going to do the installation of that tire when we're there. But I do think that 11,000 miles for the rear tire seems a little bit excessive for me. The front tires seem really well, and it seems like it's a 2 to 1. You usually get 2 back tires to 1 set of front tires. But we stay right around the 28-pound pressure in the rear tire. That's just one of my gripes, is the tire wear on the bike. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is the lack of lighting on the bike. And I've watched channels, you know, that you're not supposed to add lighting to the Can-Am because of the way the bus, which is the way the electrical flows through. But we didn't want lighting for bling, we wanted lighting for safety. And we just felt like the front turn signals and the lights on the fenders, the luggage bag reflector, and the back not having additional back lighting, and that's what we did on the bike. And you can watch our video that we did that on. We got 2 different videos where we did the front and back separate. It works out so well for us, giving us additional light, and that during the day it's incredible how LEDs, how bright they are, and they show up. And at nighttime it's like a Christmas tree. So I wouldn't have it any other way, whether BRP does it for your motorcycle, but I think additional lighting is definitely needed on this machine for safety.
I feel very secure in the back now that I am seen, and it makes me just feel a lot more safer.
Yep. My other gripe that I gripe about, and I griped about it on the 3000, is the lack of USBs, and not so much the lack of USBs, but the lack of USBs that actually charge phones. Front USB is pretty much for the dash. The back one doesn't charge much either. What we did, we put a battery tender on the bike, and we bought the part that connects into your battery tender. It gives you a cigarette lighter cord, so we can plug into multiple phones and multiple cameras into that port, and we don't have to go cutting into the dash and doing it. So that works out very well for us, and that's what we did on the bike.
All right, Bob, move over. Let me end this scene here. I think it's time that I ask you some questions as well on this.
I'm scared.
So, and Amelia must be here to ask you questions as well.
Yep.
For people who don't have a Spyder, what is it like to drive the Spyder? How is the handling?
I think it handles great. I know people will put additional sway bars on it, but we don't ride fast. We really don't need additional handling. We've been on the Tail of the Dragon, we've been on Needles Highway, we've been on Iron Mountain, and we're 2 up. I've never seemed to have a control issue, so it's an incredible feeling. Great acceleration, smooth, love it.
Since we've been driving it for almost 2 years now, the engine, how is the engine running for you, and what are you hearing and what are you feeling with it?
I've had no problems with the engine. It's got a great little rumble. We haven't had any performance issues with the engine.
So people might be watching this that don't normally watch our channel because they're interested in, you know, the 10,000 mile review.
Yeah.
So my question is, North Carolina rides, South Dakota rides. Which is your favorite?
Well, they're both of my favorites, actually. I love North Carolina just because of the mountains and the terrain and everything. Needles Highway in South Dakota and the Iron Mountain, they're just unique. I mean, you just can't compare them to anything that we've seen so far. Needles, so many rock formations, and riding on an open air machine, whether it's a 3-wheeler or 2-wheeler,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful ride. You just can't get away from it. Now, riding the Dragon, riding the Rattler, you all seen our videos. Those are incredible rides too. I mean, it's just on an open air machine. I don't care if you're pacing slow or if you're trying to ride as hard as you can ride a 3-wheeler or a 2-wheeler. Just gorgeous rides. I'd say both of them thumbs up.
Now, is it saving us money in this time of fuel issues? Is it saving us money driving the entire package to one place and leaving it, driving to Can-Am, or should we be driving the truck into Can-Am? What is the best way?
Well, when we're towing in our 2020 truck, we're getting 9 to 10.5 miles a gallon. We're pulling a heavy rig.
Yeah.
And when we're not towing, we're getting 16 or 17 miles a gallon. When we're riding the bike and we're inside these state parks, we're getting 35 miles a gallon if we're at low speeds. Of course, if you're doing 70, like I said earlier, it sucks it down pretty quick. You can watch it drop pretty quick, but it saves us money on the fuel side. But using it as an adventure vehicle, I mean, riding around in a dually truck or riding around in a 3-wheeler, no comparison. I'll take the 3-wheeler any day of the week.
We have done about 700 miles here in Yellowstone.
Yep.
On the west and north side.
Yeah.
And then I think you were calculating it saved us.
It saved us a few $100 between the trucks, fuel mileage, and then the cost of fuel. You're talking almost another $1 for diesel fuel, so that has to be factored into it.
His mind's always calculating on money. He's good at that stuff.
I got a mathematical brain. I can't remember your name, but I'll remember that if I put a number on your face.
I'll remember the name. Is there anything that you absolutely hate about the Can-Am Spyder?
I really can't think of anything that I absolutely hate about the bike. I mean, I mentioned some of the negatives, but no, I enjoy it. We got a 2019 because that's what fits in this rig. It's been great for us, 11,000 miles, and we're just loving every bit of it.
From my perspective, the armrests are very important. I feel safe, I feel secure. Plus, I'm shooting on the back, not guns, I'm shooting the camera on the back of the motorcycle, so I'm working on trying to do all kinds of trick modes to get you guys shots from all kinds of different angles, and I feel very secure and safe. The pegs for my legs to set on are adjustable, and I appreciate that because I'm not super tall, I'm not super short, I'm just kind of in the middle, so I've got the right place for me. And in the beginning, this was all new for me. It was hard on my body in the beginning. I'd never been on a motorcycle. I'd never ridden. We're going 200-300 miles, and it's very comfortable to ride on. The worst thing is when we drive that far with all the fresh air and the wind and the excitement, I come home, I'm tired.
No, the worst thing is that she can fall asleep on the back of the motorcycle.
Yes.
Because I'll go to apply a brake, all of a sudden I'll feel a body hit me.
Lying.
And I'll look back, I'll go, are you sleeping? No. But then I'll go a little further down the road and all of a sudden I'll feel somebody hit me. Yeah, she's falling asleep.
That's why we have arms on it.
So with the armrest, we may have to put a seatbelt on it to hold her in.
It's very relaxing. Yeah, I need one of those ride things that come over and snap me in.
I did add foot pegs to the bike for my comfort. I don't need the backrest because the backrest feels totally perfect for me.
I'm the backrest.
But she's my backrest. But the pegs did stretch my legs out, and I'm only 5'10". The pegs just stretched me out a little bit to give me a little bit different comfort. And sometimes it feels good to have my legs tucked in, especially on the cold mornings.
Yeah.
The warmer days, it's good to get the legs out there and get the breeze up your pants leg and stuff. So that was a great upgrade for us.
I will say it's nice having two people ride. I'm in the back, he's in the front. We do have space between us, so we don't feel squished or uncomfortable even when we're wearing multiple jackets, bulked up because it's been cold here lately. The hand grips for me in the back, if it's hot outside, they will burn the flesh off my skin. But when it's 38 and 44 degrees,
the air is rushing over top of them.
You gotta hold them like this, and then you get that extra air going underneath here. So I don't use them. I usually stick my hands under his butt. But
watch it.
If I do hold them, I don't get really any heat from them. So I'm not impressed with the hand grips in the back. And being in the back, I'm 5'6", so he does block my view if I'm looking straight ahead. But I have all the places around me that I can see fine, and I do appreciate it when we are in super windy areas and the wind is coming on us, about him being able to raise the windshield. Oh, let's talk a little bit about riding and high winds on the Can-Am and what that's like.
Yeah, when we were in Texas, we were down on the coastline, South Padre, we had some incredible crosswinds. But since we've been in Iowa and South Dakota, and here in Montana, which going into park, we go through Montana and we go through Idaho. Man, these winds are incredible out here.
Yeah.
And they're great if they're coming at you or behind you, but when they're crosswinds, you definitely feel it. And then you got the road has got a wear pattern in it for a four-wheel vehicle. I kind of stay off of that side. I kind of get my back tire in that groove of that tire so we don't get tossed around. But if you get up on that crown, you can feel it kind of kicking you around a little bit. Crazy winds out here. I mean, you get huge gusts of winds. I mean, a couple times it hits us so hard it almost feels like it's going to throw you off. It's like, man, I'm going to lose the wife off the back here in a second.
He tries, but I can't. I got armrest, remember?
Yeah.
The other thing, even though this is not involving the 10,000 mile thing, is the roads in America. What is it like driving on the roads in America?
Well, on a three-wheeler, it can be fun because you got potholes, and so you're trying to split the lane. You're trying to make your tire miss the front tire miss the pothole and the back tire miss the pothole, and it ain't always so easy. So in Yellowstone, we found the roads to be on the northern side to be a little bit more pothole-ish.
Once you get out of what we call the tourist area, Old Faithful and stuff, and you get onto the other ones,
it needs a little bit of upgrades. But I mean, people following us are probably thinking the guy's nuts, but I'm weaving back and forth because I'm trying to miss the potholes.
We had one that got us. I almost we were
on a bridge
on that one.
We got the back tire hit one. It's probably about 3 inches deep, and it like tossed us out of the bike a little bit. Three-wheeler, trying to split them, it's pretty tough.
I mean, we have enjoyed this journey so far. We definitely recommend our Can-Am Spyder. We love our Can-Am Spyder. It's named Blue Spidey, if you don't already know that.
Yep.
We are very happy with it. It has performed very well. And we are looking forward to a lot more rides coming up as we head into Montana and Oregon and Washington. And
we're looking for some incredible coastline rides down the West Coast.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this video. We definitely want to be honest and we want to share with you. If you're not following us, you need to follow us.
Yeah, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. We don't charge for any information that we give out, and we love conversing back and forth with people.
Yeah, we're more about creating education and entertainment for you guys, so you can learn, and definitely being accessible for you guys when you need additional help.
We learn from all of our subscribers too. It's definitely a two-way street. We learn something new every day.
And our bike still gets a lot of attention wherever we go. We get tons of questions on it. The last place we were going to walk, and we pull up and all these people come up. Hello, our bike is beautiful. Yes, thank you.
Don't call it a car.
It's not a car. People are talking to us, and then there's a guy on the sidewalk, like right there, and he's telling his guy, yeah, it's just like a car. And I'm like, it's not a car. It's not like a car. And the other guy, the guy looked at him like, what? You know, so, but we digress. Please like, please subscribe, please smash up that notification bell. Please comment. So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our incredible Can-Am world.
Bye.